Hello everybody, and welcome to this table. Today we're looking at a camcorder, and this is a format I want to keep up, but it's the first one I've done in this official format, where we're going to be looking at a JCV, the Active Carrying Bag for VHS Compact Video Movie System, JCV. I hope you've liked looking at this box, because it's broken and held together by tape. But it's what's inside is what we're looking at, because today we're looking at a collection of everything. I'm going to quickly move that to one side. Because today we are looking at the JVC GR-AE1E. Totally wasn't reading that off a piece of paper or anything. Weathercam from JVC. An attempt, and I have no idea when, at making a camera more or less waterproof for use in extreme sports, bad weather, or English summer holidays. I found this on eBay. You can already see one of the issues straight away, which drives me up the wall. And I thought it was interesting, so I brought it. But I'd actually brought this one. This is the first one I brought. Notice it doesn't have the backing bit. It doesn't work. So then I brought this one. It doesn't work very well. Sometimes you require more than one camera to get one that works. That one's got a head problem that I can't be bothered to fix. But we're going to focus on this one as the one that mostly works. But both cameras came with the dreaded E04 error, which is quite a common error with JCV. In fact, they had a civil case about it. Because of how common it was, but thankfully the issue was quite easy to fix by basically putting tapes in and out in a specific way, and doing a head clearing seems to have cleared it up, so it works on that factor, which is a good thing, but we'll go back to that later. So as I said, what is JVC Weathercam? It is a camera that is more or less designed to be used in wet conditions where you could not take a standard camera of the time. What time? I haven't the foggiest, because I cannot find a single piece of information or reference to this camera online anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I'm not taking the mick. I found maybe 6 photos online that aren't related to eBay or Gumtree or some other selling website, and that's it. There's no information available, so I don't know when it was made. If I had to gander a guess, looking at the quality and the way it's built, I'd say it's probably going to be mid-90s. I think early to mid-90s, personally. And looking at the construction, it's not bad. It's got a nice strap. It's fairly solid. It feels pretty solid plastic. You've got your focusing controls, which are interesting because they're up here, because obviously we have a fully enclosed and digital-based lens, which has scratches on it because of the birds, which you'll get to see later on. That was clever. So you can't manual focus it, so you've got control here. I mean, you can manual, but it doesn't work. You got a fader, which I couldn't get to work at all. Title button, couldn't get that to work. Display, couldn't get it to work. I just used the full auto setting. On the back, you've got this nice compartment, which has a battery in. I forgot about that. And you've got lots of interesting buttons. So you've got a mark, you've got your, your camera battery. I think I've replaced that one, actually. I think I put a new one in. Alarm, I assume, for power supply, and the kind of tape you're using, because you get E45 and E30s. And release button for the battery. Remote, phone, microphone, and tiny microphone, and an AV out, so it's all using the fairly standard things. And this nice little rubberized bit will literally come straight off. In fact, this one actually came from this camera. But I ended up putting this one together because it didn't have one. Plus a set of instructions. So yeah, that's pretty good. Can't fault that. On this side, we have the viewfinder. Caution, permanent damage, blah, blah, blah. The record button, and I don't honestly know what these are. I have no instruction manual. But they are buttons. You can press them and it will make things happen, yes. But I don't know what they actually do. Somebody will tell me in the comments, I'm sure, and then I'll look like a fool. Plus, you've got your zoom controls, and the zoom does work. And then we've got the lens. It's a pretty standard lens. You might be able to see something in the reflection there. You can see my lighting. Lights. It's all right. It's not the best lens I've ever seen. And the microphone's pretty good from what I used. My experience with the microphone has genuinely been quite good, quite clear, and not damaged by water. But of course, this is a tape-based system, so where on earth do the tapes go? Well, you first unlatch this, and then you pull this release mechanism here, and bring it down, and you have an internal setup here. Of course, this won't work without power, so we are going to hook up the power supply. This one came with the first camera I brought. The second camera didn't have anything but the camera and the rubber bit. When I originally got the camera, I didn't realise it had a rubber bit. You've got an appliance number, so this has been used somewhere. I didn't know you had a rubber bit at the back, so I was saying to my friend at the time that it's a huge design flaw as the fact the battery's not covered, but of course the battery's covered. So we got that. Now we turn it on, we got controls at the top we didn't look at. Whoops, that was dumb. Power on, eject, and out she comes. And of course, as I said, this takes the standard VHS Type-C tape, so we're going to put this random Scotch one in, labelled Rat Attack, which unfortunately is completely blank, because I'd love to have known what the hell Rat Attack was. And this is an E30. In that goes. And now that's in, it does its thing. You've got your time. I believe these are for the date setting, select and date and so forth, so not relevant. And of course, power supply to power supply, so all these buttons work. And, you know, I can't fault this for I've not been able to get this wet, although I haven't tested it in excessive rain. It was pissing it down yesterday, but it was quite late when I got in, so I didn't bother. Now we've got all the bits on top of here. We've got your fast forward and rewind button, so when you're using the camera, so if we want to rewind the tape, we slip it to, not camera, dumb git. Play, rewind forward, play, stop, pause, etc., etc. Or you go to camera, review and edit if you want to go back and see what you've done. Encore, I have no bloody idea, didn't do anything when I pushed it. And short play and long play. If you're clever, you use short play. If you want your tapes to last a long time, use long. Back in the day, from what I gathered, most people use long play because the tapes are expensive, but the tapes are so cheap now that you might as well use short play and get the best quality that you can. Not that quality is important to this camera, because this camera is potentially the worst camera that I have ever had the displeasure of using ever. Probably not the way you thought this was going to go, is it? But first off, you can't use it indoors because it gets a very weird line effect. Like it will jolt and jerk as if the tape is screwed and the line is buggered because of the way the light balance works. That's annoying, but fine. It's a camera designed for outside use. That's cool. When I was using it outside in tropical birdland, which is the test zone, this lens fogged up within about 10 minutes of use and would not unfog. Now, I had done an internal head cleaning using a wet system 2 days beforehand and left it open to air out. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to unfog. So that happened, and it had this error, which was like 2 boxes like that, and it X, which meant, oh, you can't record. But it still turned the tape and acted like it was recording. So I normally get about 40 minutes worth of footage from tropical birdland, but on this one, I got about 20 minutes of footage from tropical birdland because it told me it was recording, but it didn't record. The buttons also feel absolutely naff, and the way it's constructed, I said earlier on, the lighting allows you to see this. Look at that viewfinder. Do you see that point there? That is where they appear to have, like, sealed the plastic. Now, this appears to be a fault just on this camera, because if I line this one up, you can see the plastic's fine, but you can see the difference. Do you know how annoying that is when you're using it as a camera? The viewfinder itself is all right, you know, it works fine. You can see what's going on in there without too many issues. Focus on that, you see? Pause. But you can see the annoying thing. Where's Pidge? Oh, it's a game to see Pidge. There he is. There, I can see him. Hello, Pidge. But it's just so poorly designed. And that's such an oversight. It drives me up the wall because this is the one that works and that one doesn't. But the worst thing about this camera is the quality of the video that it takes. Now, I get it. I get it, and I do. You're building an outdoor camera, and you've got to make it affordable because obviously this isn't cheap to make all this work properly. This is expensive. You've got to make sure that it gets, it's a reasonable price. No one's going to buy it. Nobody did buy it, from what I can bloody tell. So you build it, and you take a standard JCV. Oh, let's put the insides of a GR-C7 inside. Yes, that's good, isn't it? GR-C7. Oh, it's got a tripod stand. But it has, but it hasn't. I wouldn't trust it. I don't even know if it is a tripod stand. But hang on a minute. That's a bit too big and a bit too expensive. We've got to squeeze in here. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll make it film in black and white. This camera, which probably cost quite a lot of money at the time, of which I don't know what the time is, I don't know how it was sold as, I don't know how much it cost, so I can only assume those things, because there is no information about this camera for good bloody measure, but this camera only records in black and white outside. And if you don't believe me, this is the greatest. I'm going to do this new format where we look at camcorders and they're all going to be amazing. No, we're starting with a bloody awful camcorder. If you don't believe me, I'm now going to show you video footage from my visit to tropical birdland. I love birds. The last camera I brought here, its viewfinder was bugged, so finding birds in it was actually surprisingly difficult. This one appears to have problems with the white balancing, and I've said it's grey as well, so... You look really fed up with life. Would you like a nice nut?
You look like a nut fan.
Oh, I think you're more of a I'm going to bite you if you come near me fan. No? Oh, hello. Yes, I thought you'd do that. I thought he'd do that. It took for me to get this to record. I think this camera's dying. Hey, pretty. I like hornbills. I like them a lot. So. You are. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? Ah.
Oh, are you headbutting me?
Oh. Oh dear. You don't like that, do you? What are you doing?
I don't want you to chew this one. Oi, 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 oi. Neville, help, help. I'm being attacked by a wild bird. I'm being attacked by the bird version of a Karen.
The mistake with Neville now?
No.
Of course I did. Come in.
Hello, Neville. Hello.
Said you got this white claw. I didn't realise you had a white claw. I'm not wearing a hat today because you destroyed my last hat, didn't you? And the clothes, they're mine. I need them to see. I need them to see. Get it back on here, or you want to stay with me? Oh, okay, now you're biting. Okay, how's about we get some of this out?
Hello.
You want this, not? Help. Oh, it's you saying hello, not him. I didn't see you up there.
Hello.
Oh, you didn't even hesitate.
You're beautiful.
Aww.
That's precious.
I love birds. Thankfully, at the end of the day, I didn't spend too much money on these two camcorders, and one of them did come with a brand new battery. Not this one, another battery that has been physically brought brand new recently from a Chinese seller. It's made by Sino Masa or something like that. I've had their battery packs before. So just getting that battery pack made it about worth buying these cameras as a whole. And it's a very interesting sort of technical thing. Obviously, as I said, it's designed to be used in bad weather conditions, of which if it rains anytime soon, I will take it outside and do a test of bad weather conditions. But it's just not a good camera. It's not good. It's awful. I would feel so sorry if this was brought as a sort of camera to be used by somebody on their summer holiday. Like, oh, we'll get the Weathercam. Yes, it's very, very good quality, and it will be good down in Cornwall where it rains all the time. I feel so sorry for you. You know, you could have had a Panasonic blooming NV-G2 or something like that, which is a very good camcorder, and it's probably the next one on the list because it is very, very good. But yeah, I can't alliterate into words how bad this camera is. It's awful. If you're looking for something specific or entertaining, a bit of an oddity, it's an oddity. It really is an oddity. It's an attempt at a waterproof camera, probably back in the 90s, maybe even the late 80s, although I suspect the 90s to be fair. And it just didn't work. as well as it could have, which is a shame. So if you're looking for an oddity, yeah, go for it. If you're looking for a camera that's old, that you want to get into, oh, look, my hands are still done so straight. If you want to get into old camcorders, this is not the one to start with. This is the thing you buy when you've got about 30 already and you think, wow, that's different. And then you regret your life choices. Now here's possibly some of the video footage from the tape that was recorded before when I got it on that camera. Or maybe I won't include that. It depends. It's a guy DJing. So somebody physically brought one of these two cameras to film himself doing a DJ set, then realised how awful it was and sold it with the tape still inside the machine. I'm going to sneeze. And that's what I think of this camera. I give it an Achu out of 10. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, and did you ever have the displeasure of actually owning one of these things and using it in the field? Because if you did, I bloody feel sorry for you. And I will see you next week, not with a video with this format, but a video with a different format. But yeah, camcorders, I love them. Bye, everybody.